Ghost of Tsushima is a wonderful and loving send-off to the PS4. You play as, at first, a naive samurai named Jin Sakai, who happens to be the nephew of the Lord of Tsushima. The game starts with Jin, his uncle, and the warriors of Tsushima fighting off the Mongol invaders, but then defeated by the Mongol leader and main antagonist of the game, Koden Khan. After being defeated and thrown off a bridge, you find yourself in a house with the first side character that you meet, Yuna. Yuna and you go out to find others who will become a great part in getting Tsushima back from the invaders. Now that you have the idea of the story, let's talk pros, cons, things that could have been better. Pros. Gameplay. I think the gameplay at first is slow and akin to the Assassin's Creed games, but as time goes on, you build many more traits and ultimately choose how you want to play the game. The style that you choose not only reflects the way the game plays out, but also is reflected in the story itself. The story builds on itself on the basis that Jin must either fight honorably like a true samurai, or fight without honor like a ninja. Starting the game and doing optional quests and collecting, it seems like any other collectathon game with dried out side quests. But as you start to do mythic quests and side quests for the characters you pick up along the way, you see how different doing these quests are from other games. The collecting in the game is much better than others, only for the fact that everything you collect is significant to the growth of Jin. Along the way to collecting various items, doing mythic quests and character side quests, you are treated to beautiful scenery within the game itself. There hasn't been a moment when turning on the game that I instantly say how beautiful it is. I've spent some time in the built-in camera mode taking some sweet shots of the game whenever there was a cool environment in the background. The same way the story evolves in this game, the gameplay, characters, and environment does just as much. So the cons of this game. There isn't really much to say that is bad about the game other than the camera had issues with how fluid it was with no active lock-on features. There was often moments when the game would dictate where it would think you needed to attack. In reality, it'd be the opposite of where you wanted to attack. Although the story was very, I guess, epic, very old-fashioned samurai movie like, it could have been written a little better. It seemed, and it might have been because of how often I would do side quests and search the environment and all that, but it felt like the story didn't flow quite as good. But the story beats were very good itself, though. There was a lot. There was a lot of motion behind a lot of the story beats throughout the whole entire thing. I think Sunger Punch can make the camera a little better to handle and have some sort of active lock-on feature when in combat. And I feel like they could also even write the story to be better, maybe in the possible next sequel, because at the end of the game, which spoiler alerts, it made it sound like there's a possible sequel just by the way it ended, or I guess technically just before the ending of the game. The way when you defeat the final boss, it kind of makes it sound like there's more that's going to happen later on. And it's kind of weird because it's a fictional story that takes place in an actual time period back in the 1300s in feudal Japan, but we'll see how that happens. So, the review for Ghost of Tsushima would have been out earlier if I would have had more time to play, but I certainly played through a large majority of the game considering that I got a full exploration tab filled out along with all the important side and mythic quests complete. I believe in total I probably have like about 60 plus hours just from traveling and exploring throughout the entire island of Tsushima, through all three regions, through all three prefectures, I guess. The game was definitely a pleasant surprise because at first I just thought it was going to be a game that I played through the story and then move on to the next game. But I found myself consumed by the lore and by the beauty of the game and environment that I just had to put so much time into it. If you plan to buy a PS5 when it comes out, you'll find out quickly that there isn't many PS5 games out right away, besides maybe like Spider-Man Miles Morales, Dark Souls, you know, Black Ops Cold War, some third-party games and all that. I really recommend picking up this game because there's going to be It's definitely gonna be boosted for the PS5, considering that this game came out literally at the end of the PS4's life. This game was honestly beyond great. It's amazing. The ending was great, and I'm lucky to have played it along with like other great games like God of War and Final Fantasy VII Remake, and eventually when I get to Persona 5, I heard that's a really great game. I guess in total, this game was a solid 9 out of 10. If they would have fixed a lot of the things deep down in my heart, I think it'd be a perfect game. Like, it's not the prettiest graphics when it comes to the characters themselves. Like, the characters look fine. If they fix that and the writing and some of the camera movement, the game would be perfect, and it'd be a 10 out of 10 then. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review. Leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. Peace. Oh, by the way, you can pet the foxes in the game. Roll the clip.